Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Manobishkam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale
Swayamrupakadamayam Dadadishwapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakaram Shri Guru Vaishnava Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadvekam
Sadutam Parijana Sahitam
Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanyam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shri Krishna
Krishna Sindhu Dinavantu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Namaste Tata Kanchana Gaurangi
Radhe
Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu
Devi Kripa Sindhu
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Ashwin, are you there? Hare Krishna. Shashwin? Okay, let's continue. Shashwin is not there. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita
Gadadhar Srivasadi
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
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 Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Thank you very much. I think Parth Prabhuji, have you been able to join in with the devotees from the temple?
Yeah, already joined. Temple devotee already joined. Me also here.
Okay, okay.
And Mataji also there.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to, Prabhuji, are you recording?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, I'd like to really welcome Madan Gopal Das Prabhuji to this Eldoret Sangha daily Gita reading class. I'm really grateful for him to be here with us, and he's going to teach us the foundation on which we are going to build our lives on, the remaining part. And Prabhuji, if you all are following him, it has a very busy schedule. So I appreciate your time and we want to make good use of it. Please feel free to tell us when you want to stop. We have all the time in the world for you, Prabhuji. So, but I know you have limited time. We are offering our obeisances. Thank you very much. And you are the host now, so you can join. You can come on the group and take us through the chanting, and we are all ready with our chanting beads.
Thank you. So thank you all very much for inviting me to this very special group. I am particularly fond of the devotees in Kenya. I'm very grateful to Her Grace Mansi Ganga Mata. She's standing in the back of the room over there. She has been instrumental in my own Krishna conscious development, if you may not know, when I joined in Nairobi in 1991. I was just a teenager at that time, going to high school. And by her guidance and by her inspiration, I learned a lot. I learned about Srila Prabhupada, I learned about Bhagavad Gita, and I've still maintained some interest in learning and some interest in sticking with this process of Krishna consciousness. Next year, it'll be 30 years next year, in January. So And you know, like Mataji, you mentioned, my schedule tends to be very hectic and very stressful. And this meeting, when I come and join the Eldoret group, it is like a de-stressor for me. When I see all the devotees so sincere, that all my stress just goes away, because everyone is smiling so nicely and they want to learn like anything. They want to be Krishna conscious. I'm like, yes, this is so inspiring. So then when I come out of the Eldoret group meeting, I feel, so refreshed. All my stress is gone and I feel my life has some meaning. You know, so it's not a burden on my schedule, but rather it is something that I look forward to help me live longer in your association. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Haribol.
Haribol, Haribol, Prabhuji, Haribol.
Haribol.
We are the blessed soul.
Hari, Hari. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and there's a little slideshow I will share. If you have Bhagavad Gita, you can also read along. We are on chapter 10, text 25. It's one verse, but if you don't have it, it's okay, because I'm going to put on the slide anyway, so you can just watch it on the screen. It's chapter 10, verse number 25. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please repeat.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, so I'll just read the verses. You don't have to repeat after me. Just make it smoother. So, Maharshinam Bhriguraham Giramasmyekam Aksharam Yajnanam Japa Yagyosmi Stavaranam Himalaya. So this one, you will see the word Japa is right here in the middle of the verse. And that is going to be the center of our discussion today. Japa. Yajna means the sacrifice. So in this chapter, Krishna is saying, among the Himalayas, among the immovable things, I'm Himalayas. Among Maharishis, I'm the Bhrigu Muni, like that. And among all kinds of sacrifices, all kinds of yagyas, I am this Japa Yagya. You see, so he's saying the best kind of sacrifices is what? Japa. Yeah? Japa Yagya. Okay. So I'll read the translation. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. So, we do Japa of the Mahamantra. And Japa means we are chanting with the mouth and we're hearing with the ear. Very simple process. And we are chanting with as much clarity as possible, because this is the holy name, and when we chant the holy name of the Lord, we invoke the presence of the Lord himself. In fact, because the Lord is absolute, he's the absolute truth, so there is no difference between him and his holy names. So when we chant this one, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We invoke the presence of Lord Krishna and all his energies. Primarily, of course, Hare refers to his energy, his internal energy, Srimati Radharani. And Rama refers to Krishna, who is the reservoir of all pleasure. So the Supreme Lord has primary quality of being all attractive, which means Krishna. Krishna means all attractive. Akrishta iti Krishna. One who attracts everybody is called Krishna. The Sanskrit word akarshan it's come from the Krishna. The Krishna is like akarshan, attracts, very attractive. He's attractive from every possible level, at every possible angle, from beauty, his strength, his intelligence, his wisdom, his sweetness. Everything about Krishna is very, very attractive. Hence the name Krishna, which means all attractive. And Rama means not only is he attractive, like he attracts you to come near him, but then when you're near him, it's not like the attraction goes away. Then you discover a reservoir of pleasure, that with him, nothing but pleasure. No matter what, even just thinking of him, our consciousness gets filled with pleasure, being near him, even being away from him, but we remember him. Everything about Krishna, if Krishna is in the center of our consciousness, then our lives are filled with pleasure, joy, bliss. This is what we are all running after. And this is all present in his holy names. So it's the three names, Hare, Krishna, and Rama, which comprise this 16-word Maha Mantra. Okay. So I will just read this what Srila Prabhupada has said very famously. This transcendental vibration by chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual souls, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities. But due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by material atmosphere. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. This consciousness is the original energy of the living entity. When we hear the transcendental vibration, this consciousness is revived, and the process is recommended by authorities for this age. By practical experience also, we can perceive that by chanting this Maha Mantra or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual stratum. So this is the promise, that when we perceive that by chanting, we can experience it, Prabhupada is saying, but practical experience, that when we chant this Maha Mantra, the great chant for deliverance, we can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual stratum. Now, most of us has probably tasted a small glimpse of this at least, I'm sure. Whether you're young, you're old. If you have tried chanting Hare Krishna, whether it's in the Japa form or it's in the Kirtan form, but we have all experienced some incredible happiness, bliss, ecstasy. That is very different. It's distinct categorically from all the other kinds of shallow happinesses and selfish so-called happiness that we have experienced. It's called transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual stratum. So now, suppose you're on the street and you have a big bag with you and you meet someone and you tell them that when you chant Hare Krishna, this is what will happen. You will feel blissful, you will feel less stressed, you will feel satisfied in your life, you will feel happy, you will feel refreshed, you will feel that life has meaning, you will develop good qualities, and you'll be less irritable, and you will set such an example of happiness, other people who want to be like you. All those statements are true. Isn't it? We'll all agree those things are all true. But due to not following properly this, if we don't follow the chanting properly, with the proper approach, in an offenseless way, then what happens? When we ask devotees who've been chanting for some time, what is the result of your japa? Oh, I feel exhausted, I feel tired, I feel irritable, I feel it is a burden. Now, if I tell somebody on the street these things, do you think anybody will want to even try to start? No. But these are realities that we face. So how is it there's a promise of one thing, and then the reality of our experience, wait a minute, in the beginning it was good, but now it's like, okay, now it's a burden, it's tiring, seriously I have to do japa, and sometimes it's like a punishment even, you know. Hey, even punish our kids sometimes. You didn't clean your room? Okay, chant 2 more rounds of japa, as if it's some kind of punishment, you know. This is, it's not supposed to be a punishment, it's supposed to be a source of joy and pleasure. So sometimes if we don't approach the process properly, with the proper mood and the proper understanding, it can very easily and quickly go down the path of negativity. And we see it very, very often And I've seen in my own life also. And I felt that, why am I even doing this? Let me reassess my situation. Let me reassess why I even joined Krishna consciousness. I mean, the philosophy is fantastic. Prasadam is fantastic. Devotees treat me very nicely. You know, the temples are beautiful. The whole system, the clothing is very colorful. Festivals are very nice. But is the process working for me? That is a question we should ask ourselves. Look in the mirror when nobody is there and ask ourselves, seriously, is this process of chanting Hare Krishna I've taken up, either because my parents are doing it or I found it on my own and I'm doing it for some time, is it really working for me? That is the hard question, serious question, sober question we have to ask ourselves. And we must all ask this question. If the process is not living up to its promise, is the problem with the process or is the problem with my approach? So we know the problem is not with the process. By studying the philosophy, by knowing ourselves, some devotees who are genuinely very happy by it, we see the glow on the faces year after year. We see that they don't leave Krishna consciousness even in the ups and downs of life. We see that they're very happy about it. We see there's something very rewarding about it. So we know it's not the process. The process is working for some people. Why is it not working for me? That is the question we're asking today. And so our spiritual advancement depends a lot on how we approach it. And one of the most important key aspects of spiritual practice is this chanting of Japa, this Japa practice. So let us focus 100% on what is this Japa process, how we can get better at it, how we can access it so we can live up to its promise. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the chanting of Hare Krishna is fine. It's fun when we're doing some kirtan in groups like this. There's music, we're jumping, dancing. Sometimes even when we are depressed, we join the dancing, the bodily movement and the singing and the joyfulness of other devotees' smiling faces. It pulls us out of our misery right away. It's wonderful. And this process is recommended. We should do it all the time. Okay. Then there is also the Japa aspect where devotees, we promise to the spiritual master that we will chant this fixed number of rounds. And Srila Prabhupada showed how to do it again and again. And he's the perfect example. So Japa is a very important aspect, right? Srila Prabhupada said, 90% of our spiritual progress depends on this one instruction of daily chanting our Japa while trying to avoid offenses. So you know the 10 offenses against the holy name of the Lord. I think all the devotees here are aware of them. You know, one should not blaspheme the devotees, one should not blaspheme the literature, one should not disobey spiritual master, one should not commit sinful activity. There's so many, right? There's 10 of them. So we know all those. I will not focus on those so much in this talk. We should know about them and we should avoid those offenses. We should make a full effort to avoid those kind of offenses, okay? But this is important because Japa is the private time we have with Krishna, one-on-one. When you do Sankirtan in a group, it's nice we're going to Krishna in a group. But one-on-one, when you're privately facing Krishna, we can develop a much more intimate, solid, personal relationship with the Supreme Person. Yeah. So, the solution is very simple, chanting Hare Krishna. But we have to remember Krishna said in the 4th chapter, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. That means, as they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. So, we can approach Krishna with different levels of intensities, with different level of openness, with different degrees of feeling. You know, calling out to Krishna is very powerful. Krishna responds, but he responds to the degree that we surrender to him. You see, he says, "Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyaham," isn't it? So he rewards us to the degree that we surrender to him. And he knows our heart, he knows our intentions, he knows our level of, let's call it corruption, you know, or addiction to matter. You know, try to enjoy separately from Krishna. is a form of corruption. Try to reduce our relationship with the Lord is a form of addiction and corruption. So he knows our levels. He knows our level of sincerity. So that's why he gave this verse, right? To the degree that you want me, to that degree I will respond. So we have to show Krishna we want him. How do we show Krishna? We surrender to him. So we will learn what surrender means and how to implement the surrender. Okay. We have to ask ourselves this one question: how dedicated am I to chant? So dedication means how much quality am I willing to put into it? Remember two things: there's quality and there's quantity. When you want to make any offering, there has to be quality. And so which is important, quality or quantity? Actually, both are very important. It's not that quantity is not important. And it's not that quality is not important. If you have quantity, quantity cannot make up for lack of quality. And quality cannot make up for lack of quantity. We need to have both. Some devotees say, or some people say that, it doesn't matter how many rounds you chant. Main thing is quality has to be first class. Even if you chant, 10 mantras, but your quality is very good, that's all you need. Imagine if I got the best quality rice from the foothills of the Himalayas, the best, most fragrant basmati, personally picked from the top, the most delicate plants, and then beautifully processed, and then cooked in perfect spring water, and then put some perfect ghee on it from our organic cows. And I say, this is the best quality rice. Okay, I give you a whole bowl. But from this bowl, you can only have 3 grains. Will it make me happy? No, 3 grains are not enough. It wouldn't even make it to the back of my mouth, only stuck in my teeth. So quantity also we need. You see, you need both quantity and quality. Both are very important. So remember, let us make a note that quantity is also important. Okay. So now I'm going to introduce you to, this is the key aspect. Okay, it is called the 4 gates to successful japa. Okay, so this is the place where you may want to take some notes. I know we're recording this and we'll share the recording and everything, but when we take notes, sometimes just the act of writing it down will gel it in our mind. Even if you throw the notes away, the act of writing it down sometimes helps him. So I recommend devotees to do that, but it's fine. We'll record this. You can watch it again. I'll put it on YouTube and share the link with everybody. So 4 gates to successful japa. So gate number 1, fundamentals. Fundamentals means what? Some external aspects. Okay, so the first one, if you recall, I told you last time, in the Prabhupada's japa tape, in the middle of the japa, while it's going on, he interrupted his japa 2 times in the recording. You can hear yourself. If you've not heard Prabhupada japa tape, please hear the japa tape. It's the most beautiful sound in the universe. It's the pure devotee chanting the holy name of the Lord. Okay, and then he interrupts his own transcendental meditation technique, and he sees some devotee not sitting properly, and he says, sit properly. Why did he interrupt his own japa to tell someone who was slouching? He was probably slouching, or his legs were somewhere else, or something like that. Why did he tell to sit properly? Because it's important. He's not going to interrupt himself for something less important. Sitting properly is important. Now, sitting properly means what? The most important aspect of sitting properly is to keep the spine straight as possible. Keep the spine straight. So whether you're sitting on the floor cross-legged like this devotee here, or you're sitting on a chair. Some devotees cannot sit on floor. That's okay. It's not a problem. But even if you're sitting on the chair, don't lean on the back. Don't lean on anything while doing japa. Point number 1. Because when we lean on something, we can't keep it so straight. Okay, we need to engage our whole body in aligning our flow of energy. That's the key. The flow of energy across the chakras, the chakra system. We don't learn so much about it, but the point is just sit properly, all these chakras will take care of themselves. When you sit straight with our back straight, it has many advantages. One key advantage is energy flows properly. Second, your mind can focus better, actually. And the third one is that it's actually healthy for your body. And fourth is your energy flows up and down properly, and you can breathe better. And fifth one, it is a body language way of showing that I am paying attention to you, my Lord. If somebody comes and talks to you, and you're sitting, say you're in the office and someone talks to you, and when they're talking to you, if I sit straight and look at them straight, versus if I'm slouching and I look down like this while they're talking to me, which one shows I'm giving attention? So our body language can determine our attention level. If you're a teacher in a school, you will see, or if you've been to primary school or something, you can see some kids are slouching like this and they're looking down, and some kids are sitting on the edge of the chair looking like this straight at the teacher. Which ones are more attentive? The teacher can tell right away. So the level of attention is shown by our body language. So sit properly is one of the most important fundamental aspects of chanting successful japa. Now, if I'll give you another example about this body language. There was a man who was very depressed, and he went to a psychological doctor, and he was like down like this. He was walking with his head down, his body was completely bent, and he was saying, "Doctor, I am feeling so depressed." So then the doctor, what he did, the doctor also became like that. He put his head down. For 2 minutes, he didn't say anything. He just kept like slouching, just like the other fellow. And then after 2 minutes, the doctor looked up and said, "It works." And the patient like, "What works?" Doctor says, "Even I'm feeling depressed now." If I keep my body like this, anybody will feel depressed, you see. So stand up straight at least. So sometimes what happens, our body language reflects our mood. That's a fact. But sometimes you can change your mood by mechanically changing your body language. You can have, it has an inverse effect also. So if I'm feeling down and I just sit up straight and I try to smile even when I'm not feeling like smiling, I just give it a shot, keep pushing. Sometimes some of that, misgivings, negativity, some of the energy just dissolves because I'm forcing my body to be positive. I have more control over my body than my mind, you see, typically. I can do that. But that affects the mind also. So the sit properly has many, many advantages. Health advantages, body language, it's an expression to the Lord. Look, I'm paying attention to you. It's a way of communication. Speaking is, the words we use are not the only way we communicate with people. Our body language is like 80% of our communication, So this is a way to communicate to the Lord, my Lord. Now it is my time to give your holy name attention. So please look at me. Look, I'm sitting. See, like that. It is a very sweet way of offering yourself to Krishna. Sitting properly helps in many, many, many ways. This is just the first lesson. Okay. If are there any questions at this point on this specific thing? If you have a question, you can please ask. It's okay. If not, I can move on. Yes, Kirtika Mataji, go ahead. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
If you are sitting on the chair, our hands can be on the armrest.
Hands can be in the armrest. Generally, it's fine. Sometimes people have shoulder problems, but generally, if you're not resting too many other things, it helps more. Now, I wanted to give some practical tips on sitting properly. And we can all try this ourselves now. It's a workshop, so you also try it, okay? And we'll do some japa while we try it, okay? So everybody, wherever you're sitting, if it's on a chair, like I'm on a chair right now, but you sit closer to the edge of the chair, okay? Then the pelvic plane, the pelvic plane, the pelvis over here, which is around the hips, try to tilt it slightly forward, like at the edge of the chair, slightly. If you tilt it forward, then what happens, it causes your spine to straighten out more naturally. And you won't feel any strain in sitting. If you're sitting on the floor, then this is what I use. I strongly recommend a kind of cushion, and I'll show you, there's a slide that shows that, a kind of cushion. And when you sit on a firm kind of cushion, I use this one. This is, I don't know if you can see this. This is like this meditation cushion, but you can use any cushion. It's fairly firm, and you sit on the edge, and your feet are on the floor, and your knees can be also on the floor. This way you're like somewhat tilting forward, and it's incredible how comfortable your straight sitting becomes. You can sit for hours. You can sit for hours and you'll feel so nice. Okay, so like that, try sitting. Sit up straight. Okay, now shoulders, keep them square, and chest, bring it out a little bit out than normal. Usually you're slouching, we do like this, but open up your shoulders so the chest muscles and everything are a little bit out, and it shows, it allows the oxygen to flow better and allows us to chant more clearly. Okay, imagine your whole body is like a shirt and the shoulders are like a hanger, and the shirt is sitting comfortably on the hanger, very comfortably, no strain or stress. Okay, so keep your shoulders square, straight, but try not to be straining to maintain that posture. If you're straining, that means something is a little bit wrong. So you sit up straight, keep your shoulders square, chest out. Okay, now we will chant with this kind of posture, and with our full focus we will chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra very clearly. Okay, let us do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so this is nice. You will notice, I hope you notice that it helped you a little bit in your focus. Okay, so this was a good practice. This is just the first step. Any other questions before we go to the next one?
Can you chant Hare Krishna, Prabhuji?
Correct.
Can you chant early in the morning while sleeping in your bed?
I didn't hear you. What did you say? Can you repeat, please?
Early in the morning, if you're woken up, or you are driving, or can you just chant lying straight on your bed, straight?
You should chant all the time, lying, standing, everything. Not your japa rounds.
Not the japa rounds.
It is not recommended unless you really have a severe illness, it is not recommended you chant your japa rounds while lying on your back. But when you're lying on the back, you should chant Hare Krishna.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's
Sure.
not that you cannot chant while lying on your back.
Now coming to that, when you chant a japa round, or you just chant lying in bed, is the effect the same?
Well, there's a lot of background noise. I'm just going to mute everyone else. Can you repeat your question, Prabhu?
My question, Prabhuji, is if you're chanting on the bed, just lying down, not your japa round, but just chanting Hare Krishna, or in the car, or at work, is the effect the same as doing a japa round?
The effect of the holy name is the same. However, the japa round that we're doing is a commitment to certain standard of quality and attention. So that is the commitment we've made is that. But otherwise, we should chant all the time, and we should try to chant at the same level of focus. But sometimes when you're driving, right, for example, driving, we won't have the same level of focus because we're not closing our eyes. Hopefully, you drive with your eyes open, you know. So that you don't want to do that one. But that sort of thing, definitely chant wherever you are, whatever you're doing. That's why Prabhupada said 16 rounds on the beats, and then off the beats, unlimited round we should be doing. Every opportunity we get, we chant Hare Krishna. You know, so always chant Hare Krishna, and do get used to chanting while lying on the back, because most of us, we're going to leave our body lying on our back. When we're lying on the back, you're going to die. That's why it's a deathbed. You know, most of us live like that. So it's good to get used to chanting when you're lying on the back. So chant last thing before you sleep, and chant first thing when you wake up. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's a good question.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
What about walking and chanting?
Yeah. Yes, of course, walking and chanting is good. Prabhupada showed us that he used to go for a walk and you chant. Walking and chanting is very good. It is particularly useful when we're feeling very tired or when we're feeling sleepy. You can stand up and walk and chant. That's fine. That's also japa chanting, because your back is straight. There's no problem walking and chanting. Some people find it better to do that for focusing, but according to many authorities on chanting properly, the sitting one is considered the highest standard. The sitting posture, because then there's less chance for distractions, there's less chance for other focus going here and there. Yeah, you can walk and chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Prabhuji, again a clarification. So walking chanting can be considered in the 16 rounds.
Yes, absolutely. And Prabhupada showed that by his example. He used to go on Japa walk all the time. It's very good to do that. Okay, good. Now we can move on. So that is the fundamentals, by the way, is a bunch of recommendations and guides to improve our first gate. Okay. Second gate, first gate still we're working on fundamentals, rising early. Waking up early is a Brahma Muhurta time, which is about 1.5 hours before the sun rises, depending on wherever you are, what part of the world you are. When we wake up early, many advantages are there because other people are not up. Most people, the world is not started yet. So there's less chance for distraction. That particular time frame, those couple of hours before sunrise, are imbued by the Lord with very intense level of mode of goodness, the sattvic gun. Mode of goodness has many key advantages for health purposes, for focusing, and for all spiritual activities. So we rise early, we take a shower, we bow down, and we can take full advantage of that magical time called Brahma Muhurta. If we take full advantage of that, then that shows that we're trying our best, we're doing whatever is favorable to our spiritual progress. Now, a lot of the times it may be difficult, and if we just don't have the habit, then maybe to get started, you can try once a week to rise at Mangalarti time. If you're not used to that one, try maybe every Saturday you say, or every Friday. One day you find out where you can sleep early the night before. Learn how to sleep early, by the way. If you learn how to sleep early, there's some techniques where you can learn how to sleep early. You can look them up, sleep early, so you can wake up early, get enough rest. Then you can take advantage. So if you're not used to already doing this every single day, at least reserve one day for it. Try a Sunday. You'll give yourself a few more hours before everybody. Sunday everybody sleeps till so late. Other people, the world around us will sleep till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Doesn't matter. We can take more advantage of the time. So find a day that if you're not started, find one and try that. Okay. Rising early. Then this point is also very, very important. Pronunciation and clarity. So we sit properly, wake up early, and we pronounce the name of the Lord clearly. Not that in the name of speed I just say something that is not even the name of Krishna. It sounds like you're chanting Hare Krishna, but if you listen carefully, it sounds something else. Some devotees I've heard, they go nish, 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 nam, 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 nish, nish, nam, nam, nish, nish. There's no nish, nam. There's a Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Then I heard another devotee was saying, here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, 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 as if he's calling a little cat or something like that. There's another devotee I heard, he says, it's so early in the morning, it's very hard for me to chant. What do you chant? Hey mama, 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 hey, hey. What is this? Hey mama. No, it's Hare Rama. So we find all kinds of alternate pronunciations which change it so much. Therefore, and some of these are quite hilarious, and because we try to do more rounds in less time, and then we slaughter the name itself. Not good. Pronounce nicely. So it's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We know how it's pronounced. Go for quality, clarity in a pronunciation. That's more important than speeding up too much. Sometimes some devotees can speed up and the clarity is still very good. So nothing wrong with that. But try to go for clarity first and then speed later. Speed is not critical. What is critical is that when you call out to the Lord must know you're calling out to Him. Otherwise, at the end of the life, you'll see some other creature and they say, what is your name? My name is Nishnam. Oh, Nishnam. Yeah, you've been calling me your whole life. Nishnam, Nishnam. So you end up, instead of Krishna, you get with someone by the name of Nishnam who you've never heard of. So we want Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Important point. Okay, they're very fundamental things. I call it fundamental because they're obvious, they're self-evident, and they're not difficult to implement in our life. Okay. Environment. The environment I choose, or the room, let's just call it simple, the room I choose, the space that I make, is it sacred? So we should all try to find some space in the house. Maybe you have a temple room or some corner where you have pictures of the Lord or something, or you don't have to have pictures even, but a space where it'll be fairly clean and quiet and you won't be disturbed too much. And you designate that as your sacred space. Suppose I have to study for an exam. And I have two choices. I can go to the disco where they're dancing with loud music, or to the library. I mean, if I'm focused, I can even study in the disco. But which is more suitable? Which is more conducive? The library is better. Why? Because library, everybody else is also doing it, or there's nobody there that day. It's very quiet generally. You have access to the books you need, like that. So similarly, there's no hard and fast rule. You can chant anywhere, anyhow. Nothing is going to stop the name from being accessed. But certain aspects are more conducive to reach the Lord. So our environment, let us find like a space, and maybe find a mat to sit on, or a nice comfortable space. What I do, in fact, you can see this is, I don't know if you can see, this is actually my Japa room. And that little glass table over there, I put this board in front of me, because sometimes I forget the mantra, It's not that I forget the mantra, but when I have the mantra in front of me visually, then I have an extra, say, like a rail or a crutch to focus, to remind me, no, focus on the name. Don't let your mind go anywhere. The name is what's important. See, so I keep this board in front of me, and I light a candle over there, and then I sit on this cushion. This is my cushion. When I sit on the cushion, I can keep my spine straight for 2-3 hours, no problem. It's not that I'm particularly very fit person. I was wondering, even someone chubby and fat like me can sit up straight, and I can do it. So if a fat guy like me can sit straight, then everybody else can sit straight. It's not a problem. I used to have back problems for many years also. But somehow, by the Lord's mercy, the back problem went away, and I can still sit straight. So environment, sacred space, is very critical. So make sure it's clean. Sometimes you can light a candle, you can light agarbatti. I like to light candle instead of agarbatti, because sometimes the agarbatti is hard, it makes me cough or whatever. But you don't have to light anything. Better if you're not good with the lighters and all, just don't light anything. It's dangerous to burn down the house. So avoid that if you're not good at that. Okay, so environment, sacred space. If you have a temple room, that's very nice. Sometimes I sit in my temple room. I have a temple room downstairs, and sometimes I sit outside when the weather is very nice. I sit in a chair outside, or sit on the floor outside, enjoy the fresh air and chant Hare Krishna. So this is important. So this is the tips I was saying for sitting up straight. So sit on a firm cushion's edge. When you sit on a firm cushion edge, it gives your hips extra height, allowing the pelvis to tilt slightly forward. This aligns your spine to maintain its natural curve, So you will see immediately, the moment you tilt your pelvis forward, all of a sudden your spine is straight very naturally. So you can sit directly on a cushion like this, or like this. You can get a raised one like a stool and put a cushion on it. If you can't sit cross-legged, you can do like this also, where you're just kind of sitting like a mini chair. She's crossed her legs slightly. You can cross your legs slightly. It's much easier on this one. So there's a number of options. Or if you have a chair that's very low, like this chair, I can adjust the height, and I can still do somewhat crossing my legs and support my spine like that. Yeah, this is important. You will find this will pay off when you put some effort into straightening your spine. But make sure when we're straightening the spine that your angle is comfortable. Otherwise, you'll end up straining, and it becomes defeating. Okay. So this is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now, after having learned these fundamentals, let us try to apply all of them so far. What is number one? Sit properly. Let me go back. Sit properly, rising early, pronunciation, and environment. So let us imagine our environment is very sacred and clean. Right now, I'm sure most of you are already in a sacred environment anyway, but if you're not, like, if it's a little bit disturbed, it's okay, just imagine it's that. Imagine you rose up early and it's Brahma Muhurta time right now. Let us all sit up as straight as we can without straining ourselves. Chest out and shoulders square. Take up your Japa beads and we'll do 3 Maha Mantras together. Huh? 3 Maha Mantras. Okay. And this time I want you to all focus on the clarity of the Maha Mantra. The pronunciation has to be very clear and crisp. Don't skimp on the quality of the sound and make sure you hear it. It doesn't have to be very loud. It just has to be clear. So let's do 3 mantras together. Just going to mute all. 1 second. Okay, let's do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So any comments or questions at this point?
Prabhuji, like if I do my chanting going around the plant of Tulsi, that's also fine?
Of course. That's very, very nice. Very good.
Okay.
In fact, it's a good, if we can't sit for a very long time, then, you do 1 round sitting, then you do another round going around Tulsi, then take another seat. This way your body doesn't get stuck in the posture for too long. It's a very good, healthy way. When I'm in the temple, I do that. I do like 8 rounds sitting, and then 1 round I'll do around Tulsi Devi, and then go back to the rest. It's like that. It gives you a break if the knees get locked up or whatever. It's all very good practices. Sometimes it's good to keep your blood flowing. If we're not used to always sitting very long time. And then the other devotees who can sit, I know there's one devotee who can sit without moving and do 64 rounds at one. Yeah, so those are super yogis. And yeah, so those are good ways. Yes, Kirtika Mataji, you had a question.
Prabhuji, you said you should have a bath, a shower in the morning and then sit. Can we do our japas without having a shower? Because as soon as we get up, we can go for a walk and do our japas, so we don't have a shower.
Yeah, shower is definitely very strongly recommended. There's a reason for that. Even if you go out, you should take a shower first. There's a very good reason to take a shower. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule. You can just wash your hand, wash your face. But when you take a shower, what happens? See, when we sleep at night, our body excretes the toxins that take place during the, during our resting and the healing process that takes place in our bodies at the cellular level. And so those toxins, they do get secreted into our skin. And therefore, when we take a shower in the morning and all those toxins get washed away, we feel so refreshed. So that refreshment feeling is considered one of the best things. It's very sattvic, it's more of goodness. So the many devotees I know who take 2 showers in the morning, one right after waking up, and then they go for japa walk. And because they're walking outside, then the outside atmosphere also, then like especially over here, people walk their dogs and a lot of the place smell like dog or something. So then you take a shower afterwards also. I know it's a lot of showering, devotees shower a lot, supposed to. But there's definitely key advantages, physiological advantages. The metabolism that takes place at night has its waste products that come out. So we should try to refresh as much as possible. But there's no hard and fast rule like that. If you cannot, that's okay. Main thing is chanting. Certainly try to keep as clean as possible. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, any other questions? Okay. So we can go on. Wow, time is moving very quickly. I've not even gone to the second gate yet. Is that okay? I might go a little bit over time.
You have to come back again.
Oh, is that it? Okay. We'll have to see.
But you can go for 2 hours. I don't think we have a problem with that.
Okay, I'll try
And
to
you can come back again.
either that or I'll come back again. Masingha Mataji also needs to take rest because she's planning on
No,
implementing
no.
early morning tomorrow herself.
No. I'm not going to fool myself. Don't worry. I'm too much set in my ways. However, I was thinking it would be nice. You decide your time, whether 2 session or 1 session, because there are a lot of people, Ravi and them, they probably would not want to stay too long.
Understood.
Ravi is our... Carry on.
Okay.
Over.
Yeah, I might go maybe another 15 minutes over. And I'm going a very slow pace because very important point. So I'm just summarizing the 4 points over here of the fundamentals because I say properly, rise early, pronunciation, and environment. Next one, which is a huge challenge. Next gate, big one. Most of us think it's impossible to open this gate. It's the gate of the mind. You see, over here, you got the mind over here. It is the mind, Prabhu. How can I control the mind? Even Arjuna says it's like controlling the wind. It's ridiculous. Why even bother controlling the mind? I cannot control the mind. Mind controls me. If it was impossible to control the mind, Krishna would not have bothered to tell us to control the mind. He would not have bothered to say it's your best friend. It can be your worst enemy, but it can be a best friend. A lot of the times we forget that mind, Krishna said he's the best friend. Why do we forget that part? Okay. So, the Krishna conscious process is a culture of absorption of the mind. That's what we're taught. It's the best friend and worst enemy. We know that. Worst enemy because when it starts dictating, we sometimes cannot control it at all. However, it is possible that you can control it. Okay. So let us try it. I'm going to do an exercise with you to see if it's even possible to control the mind. Okay. So now listen carefully to me. Sit up straight and close your eyes. We're going to do a simple meditation. Close your eyes, please, all of you. Now, imagine you're standing up from where you are and you're going to the kitchen. You're walking into the kitchen. It is nighttime and you turn on the light. Okay, you're picturing this. Picture it very clearly in your mind. You've turned on the light of the kitchen, then you walk to the refrigerator. You open the fridge and you find inside some orange juice in a jug. You take the orange juice and you see there's some tulsis in there. That means it's already been offered. You close the fridge, you take out a glass, you pour some orange juice in the glass, you're looking at it and you're just about to drink it. Okay. Now, open your eyes, come back to reality where we are right now. And so raise your hand if you actually saw the orange juice in your mind. If you actually saw it, raise your hand. Did you see it? In your mind, could you picture it? Could you picture it? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of people are saying yes, they could picture it. You could picture the fridge, refrigerator. You could picture the jug, the glass, the light switch. Why? Because you're controlling the mind. You're in full control of the mind doing the whole exercise. Why? This whole exercise is just to show you that mind is not controlling you. If you decide that the focus is going to be orange juice, your mind will be in control. If it's about the kitchen, no problem, easy to control. You see? So similarly, we can also guide the mind gently, saying that we're going to have a lot of juice at the end of it. This is the Nam Ras, the juice in the holy name. It's going to be very tasty. And you just guide the mind. Okay, right now, mind, I know you want to talk about so many things. You want to talk about how that devotee said bad things about me and the other devotee, talking like that. And, I don't care. Right now, let's put that aside. Let us focus on this nectar that we're going to drink. Because this is what Krishna consciousness is about. It is not about what other people think about me. It is not about my financial problems or how nice it is going to be when I go to this place or that place. It's not about that. Life is about connecting to Krishna. We know that. So let us focus the mind today on this. There's a question? I see someone raise a hand. Okay, I guess not. All right. Now, another thing we can do with the mind is you reflect on the transcendental nature of the holy name. You see, so we create an atmosphere in the mind of understanding that this is Krishna. Here is Krishna. Okay. So we recognize it's possible to control the mind. Second, we recognize that Krishna is the holy name. And third, we absorb the mind in the chanting of holy name. Okay. The absorption of the mind doesn't mean we have to imagine something, some picture of Krishna in our mind. No, 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 no. You just have to recognize that Krishna is the holy name. That's the main point. And make sure that stays as the background understanding in your mind. We're not supposed to sit and try to picture and put some projection of Radha Krishna dancing, something like that. It doesn't have to be. We don't need to do that. We need to just understand Krishna is a holy name. And the focus of the mind should be on hearing and chanting, the sound vibration. That's all. Recognize we can control it. We at least recognize that we can prevent distractions. Okay? That is the mind. Gate number 3, the feeling in the heart. You know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he chanted with a lot of feeling, a lot of emotion. So we have to bring now, so first one was the fundamentals, externals. Second was the mind. And third is the heart, the emotions, the feelings that we have. You know. So what are some of the teachings that we've learned on this one? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has taught us that the name is heart deep, not lip deep. When we chant the name of Krishna, we're calling out, and calling out with a lot of feeling. It is not just uttering, it is calling. So we're calling, Krishna, please come. Krishna, please accept me. Oh, Radha Krishna, I am yours. I am your servant. That they're calling out, please. So that is a feeling. It is heart deep feeling. It's a calling. Calling is not the same as uttering or reading or something like that. It is calling. Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Bhagavata writes that bhakti means crying while remembering Krishna's name. This is his definition of bhakti. If someone asks you what is the definition of bhakti, you can say one definition that I know by Vrindavan Das Thakur means crying while remembering Krishna's name. How is it possible to cry unless there's some kind of feeling? So we need to cry. And if we find the heart is so dry that we cannot cry, then we can cry about the dryness of the heart. But somehow bring our emotions in here. Because when we invest the emotions, our feelings for Krishna, then gradually what develops? Love. Love is a development of investment of emotions. See, when you invest some money in any business and then the profit you get, that is what you're going for. So when we invest emotions in the bank of Krishna conscious practice, then the interest you get is the love of God. So we have to invest the emotions, our emotions. Sincerity. You will see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes so many emotional bhajans. You read his bhajans. My Lord, I'm missing you. Just why do you think he wrote so many bhajans? It's not just for him to read. It's for us to also read and understand the mood, to cultivate in our heart. Srila Prabhupada sang these bhajans all the time, and you see the emotion in his voice when he sang them. Krishna says in Adi Purana, I am purchased by one who sings my name and cries before me, not by anyone else. See, he promises this. You can buy me. You can buy Krishna. Krishna is the richest man, but you can buy him. How? If you sing his name and cry before him, if you chant his name and cry, my Lord, just keep crying tears. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says that this movement is a crying movement. You have to cry until the couch, the sofa you're sitting on is completely soaked, dripping. He said like that, the couch should be dripping with your tears. Why? This is the key to Krishna. Feeling emotions. Love. You think love of Godhead is a cheap thing. Love of Godhead is not a cheap thing. We cannot pretend to love somebody. And a lot of the time when we find that I should be loving Krishna, let me love him, you can't. Nothing comes out. Then how do we access this loving feeling? How? How do I even get started with this one? Let us see. You see these stones over here? These are called stepping stones. Right now I'm standing over here on the left side of the screen, but I want to get to that last stone over there. I can't walk on the water, so I need stepping stones. So that last stone is love of Godhead. And here I am, and there's a bunch of stones in between. And I will use them to reach that. What are these stones? Because I can't reach the last one in one step, but I can make a baby step to the first one. What is that first stone? So this is chanting Japa with feeling. Some of these stones which lead us to love, one of them is called gratitude. Gratitude. Be thankful to Krishna. Find every chance and opportunity to thank Krishna. Krishna, I'm so thankful to you that somehow you have given me this opportunity and this pure process and Srila Prabhupada's teachings and these wonderful devotees to learn and to practice, that I can actually access God. I can actually access you. I've been suffering for trillions of lifetimes. One gate has opened up for me to see you finally. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, my dear devotees. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Thank you, all Parampara. Thank you, Narad Muni. Everybody, thank you, thank you. The devotee brought me prasadam. Thank you so much. This prasadam is the key to Krishna consciousness. Gratitude. Gratitude is easier than love. Why? Because we can easily thank. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost anything. Love is too far of a goal. But gratitude is a stepping stone to love. When we saturate our heart with gratitude, this is a nice feeling to have. It strengthens the heart. It nourishes the body when you're grateful. And you develop an atmosphere of positivity in your existence, in your psyche, in your mind, in your heart, and wherever you touch. Because if your mind is saturated with gratitude, then there's no place for negativity. There's no place for gossip. There's no place for being judgmental negatively towards somebody else. There's no place for being hurtful because they're grateful. Grateful and hurtful cannot stay in the same heart. Gratitude is the attitude. Remember that. Gita, G-I-T-A, Gita. Gratitude is the attitude. That's what Gita stands for. Gita means the song of God, but also you can make it acronym like this one. Gratitude is the attitude. It will help us at least begin our journey towards love. Love is not a cheap thing. Let us invest gratitude. So when we're chanting Japa, we do the full external fundamentals, then we convince the mind that, we remind the mind that this is Krishna's holy name. Try not to get distracted, focus on the sound. And then the heart, we've saturated with gratitude. Thank you for this chance to say your name. You know that Valmiki, he couldn't even say the name Rama. He had committed so many sins. In fact, just to have the opportunity to say the name Krishna, what to speak of the whole Mahamantra, you need to do so many pious activities. Somehow, my Lord, you have given me the chance without doing any pious activities. So thank you. And with a thankful mood, we chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This is one stepping stone towards love of God. Next one, appreciation. This is very related to gratitude. When you appreciate something, you're grateful for it. So you appreciate all the opportunities that Krishna gives. You appreciate the creation of the world. You appreciate how nice things are moving, how the sun rises. You appreciate some devotee helping you out. So appreciation and gratitude, they go hand in hand. You appreciate the expertise of other people. Even if they're not devotees, you appreciate them. Look at that guy. He engineered this building so beautifully. He's not a devotee, but Krishna says, I am the ability in man. That ability in that person is Krishna's power. So you appreciate things in the world. Why do you think Krishna spent so much time in the Gita saying, among I'm the ability in man, I am this thing of that, of cheats, among Himalayas, among immovable things and Himalayas. Everything we see, we can use it to appreciate Krishna. So even if you're walking and doing japa, you appreciate things around you. If we are distracted, try to leverage the appreciation and bring it in our heart and make the focus of appreciation Krishna. That's why Krishna gave such a variety of ways to remember him. Remember, Arjuna asked him, Keshu Keshu cha bhaveshu. What are the different ways I should remember you? Krishna says, these are different ways I'll give you. Of the fishes, I am the shark. So even if your mind is distracted and somehow a shark comes in your mind, You can say, but among fishes, Krishna is the shark. So bring back your mind to Krishna. That is why Krishna gives so many varieties of ways to bring back to Krishna. We appreciate Krishna's power. I'm feeling very thirsty. Let me drink some water. And then, I really needed that one sip of water. Krishna says, I am the pure taste of water. Krishna, you're the taste of water. Amazing. I appreciate it so much. And then chant Hare Krishna. So gratitude for the opportunities, appreciation for everything is given us. That's again same as gratitude almost. Then remorse. What should we be regretful or remorseful for? Oh Krishna, I am so remorseful. My whole life I've done nothing but commit sinful activities. I'm really, really sorry. That contriteness, that regret, that sincere remorse can wash away our sins. And when we cry tears of remorse, which are genuine, because we may have done things that are not conscious, or that are not conducive for Krishna consciousness. We may still be attracted to some of them. We may still be even addicted to some of them. So we saturate our mind with remorse. My Lord, I'm really trying to give up these cigarettes. I've been smoking for 20 years, but now instead of smoking 1 pack a day, I'm only doing 1 cigarette a week. Please help me even give that up. I'm very sorry. I really want you, Krishna. I'm so sorry I've wasted my life. I'm so sorry I wasted my time. I'm so sorry I said the bad things about devotees. I'm so sorry. Please, Krishna, allow me to see things the way they are. Allow me to straighten my consciousness, my intelligence, and please forgive me. This remorse is a very, very powerful emotion. And when the center is Krishna of that remorse, it can really accelerate our spiritual progress. This is not something we're making up and inventing. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's bhajans are filled with remorse. You should read some of them. He writes, I have done nothing but commit sin all my life. I have knowingly drunk poison. Hari Hari bifale janama gavayu. Janiya shuniya bishakhayu. Radha Krishna na bojiya. Right? I did not worship. I wasted my life. I didn't worship Radha Krishna. Knowingly, I've drank poison. I know I'm supposed to worship you, Krishna. Still, I went for the addictive things, the poisonous things. Oh, I'm so remorseful. Hari Hari, bifale, fruitlessly, I wasted my life. Remorse is a powerful emotion. And we're taught by our acharyas how to apply it. Then we can reach our goal, which is love of Godhead. Back over there. So let us review the 4 gates. Fundamentals. What are the fundamentals? Now let me hear you all say them. If you remember any of them. Let's say them one by one. Sit properly is one of them.
Then changing body posture changes your mood, walking and chanting. Then pronunciation and clarity.
Yeah.
Environment should be a sacred space. You can light a candle and have the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in front of you. And then comes gate number 2, that is mind.
No, let's take the first gate. Let's take the first gate. So first gate is sit properly, chant clearly, sacred space, and so on, right? Those external things.
Yes.
Now, this analogy of the 4 gates is like Gopuram. Have you seen in South Indian temples, they have 4, sometimes 3 sets of walls getting smaller and smaller, concentric ones. And then inside the center, there is a temple. Now, this first gate itself looks like a temple itself. It's like Gopuram. It's like so tall and very beautiful. And you go inside, there's no deity. You thought there's a temple there, but it's just a gate. So these fundamentals, they are a gate to let you closer to the inner temple. And they're so important that we build almost like a temple over it. So this is the first gate, fundamental. We give it a lot of importance. Okay. Second gate, the mind. We talked about how to engage the mind. Okay. So now we pass the first gate, then we go through the second gate, which is the mind, and the third gate, which is the heart and the emotions. Now the fourth gate When you come to the fourth gate, you will find that gate, that door has no handle on the outside. There's no handle. You cannot open it. That door, that gate has a handle on the other side. And who can open that gate?
Krishna.
Only Krishna can open. That is a gate of mercy. We have no control over that one. If we go through all these three gates and the mercy gate is not open, we cannot get it. The handle is on the other side. So that is completely up to Krishna. Krishna opens that gate for us if he is merciful to us. Then we can access Radha Krishna. We can serve them. That is the gate of mercy. Okay. So we only can control these first three gates. Beyond that, we cannot control. The fourth gate is Krishna's hands. Only when he is merciful to us will he give us access to himself. However, Krishna is an ocean of mercy. And if we have shown Krishna that, look, I'm going to cross all these three gates. I'm going to give you everything I have. I'm going to do everything possible within my power to approach you and do all the best practices. Then Krishna, because he's so merciful, by the time you reach the fourth gate, you'll find it's already open. Because you have reached, but if you don't go through the first one even, then you won't even see the fourth gate, you see. That is what we have to show Krishna. We have to show dedication to the process. Remember, come back to this point. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyaham. As they surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. So we show our surrender by going through, putting the effort in going through the right process, applying everything we have. So how dedicated am I to chant? Well, how dedicated am I to open these four gates? At least three of them. So now in the last, we all know that verse in the 18th chapter, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, surrender unto me, right? Mam ekam sharanam vraja, and I will free you from all sin. In that one, we learn the process of surrender. Surrender unto me. But what does surrendering mean? What does the word surrender mean? The only surrender I know when I was a kid was when someone points a gun at you, you put your hands up, it says surrender. What does the surrender actually mean? So surrender in that purport, if you read that purport, it defines the surrender. This is in the purport, okay? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya vajanam rakshishyati vishwaso goptritve varanam tatha atmaniksheva karpanye shadvidha sharanagati. These are the 6 processes or 6 aspects of surrender. When we do these 6, we show Krishna we are surrendered. So what are these? The first one, accepting those things that are favorable to devotional service. So all those gates we talked about, are they favorable? Yes. Waking up early is favorable. Chanting clearly is favorable. Taking a bath is favorable. Engaging our mind, focusing on Krishna is favorable. Keeping a sacred space is favorable. Yeah? Observing the 4 regulated principles, they're favorable. Having a holy, sacred life is favorable. Engaging our emotions in opening up our heart to the Lord is very favorable. So this is called surrender. This is how you show surrender to Krishna. You don't just say Krishna is surrendered to you, but all those things we keep closed. No, we have to open all of them. Then we show our surrender. And we reject unfavorable things. That's the second point. Then we fill our mind with conviction that Krishna is the one protecting me. He will protect my devotion. And recognize that the Lord is the only master. He's my only master. Everything I get is only from him. And then I surrender and I fill my life with humility. Humility is the 6th one. So we do all these 6 things, then we are called surrendered. We can't just say, oh, I surrender to you, Krishna, and then these 6 things we don't follow them. We have to follow these 6 items. So the first item is what we're trying to implement over here. First and second one, the rejection of unfavorable things. So keep this in mind. This is what surrender actually means. Next time somebody asks you what is surrender, you tell them surrender means 6 things. Let me tell you. So memorize this one. Tell them 6 things. I'm going to summarize this at the end of our lecture now. The Lord reciprocates as we surrender. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. The 4 gates to successful chanting, the fundamentals, the mind, the heart, and the mercy of the Lord. That's how you can approach the Lord. The Lord is supremely merciful. We know that he's an ocean of mercy. Certainly. Okay. And I'll end with this. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he glorifies the holy name. This is Mahaprabhu. You can see he's just jumping in the ocean and he's just crying out to Krishna. Tunde tandavini ratim vitanute tundavali labdhaye karna kroda kadambini ghatayate karnarbudebhya spriham chetah prangana sangini vijiyate sarvendriyanam kritim no jane janita kiyat viramritai krishneti varnadvayi. Translation: I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. We then desire many, many mouths. When that name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. This is the power of the holy name. But this power can only be exerted when we allow the holy name to enter the heart, when we follow the process, when we show the Lord that I'm giving you everything I have got, Krishna. I'm giving you my attention, I'm giving you my body language, I'm giving you my body, I'm giving you my heart, my feelings, my mind, my understanding, my intelligence, and I'm giving it to you structurally, progressively. I am putting it all on the line for you, for your holy name, because I know you are the name. And one day I will be able to feel like how Mahaprabhu is feeling. This is accessible to us. So, my dear devotees, you will find if we make a conscientious, sustained attempt to access the holy name via applying these methodologies, why will Krishna refuse us? He has no reason to. But if we slacken in these possible ways, then he has every reason to. So if we give him no reason to reject us, that is our job as devotees. My dear Lord, I know you have every reason to reject me, but look, I'm giving you everything I have. It's not much. Okay, I'm very poor in these areas, but this is all I have. I'm giving you everything. So let us show the Lord, I'm giving you everything. This is how we show, by accepting everything favorable and rejecting everything unfavorable. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for listening to my lecture. I hope you found some good benefit from it. If you have any questions,
Lots of benefits.
Yes, please let me know.
Can I start first?
Please.
Yesterday you mentioned that the chanting should revolve and evolve around the rest of the work and things. And normally you know, and I know for myself, that is the work and then you try to fit in chanting. Now that particular portion I want you to clarify properly.
Yes.
I know you mentioned everything, get up in the morning, you have your time. However, there are people who are weak. They cannot get up in the morning, whether their mind is weak or their body is weak. Only Krishna knows. So in that case, when you don't get up at the right time, like Brahma Muhurta hours, then the whole chanting goes berserk. So what's your suggestion on that one?
Yeah. Okay. So now we know that these are the best practices. Best practice. And sitting up straight is the best practice. Not everybody can sit up straight. Not everybody can physically get up in the morning. It's just the way the body is so conditioned and stuff like that. It's very difficult to come out of that. But ultimately, the bottom line is, am I giving Krishna everything I have? Because if I'm not able to wake up, Krishna knows that. You see, Krishna does not see how much you give. I take out my wallet, I give him something. He doesn't see how much I'm giving. He looks in my wallet and seeing how much I'm keeping in my wallet. You see? God does not see how much you give. He sees how much you keep for yourself. So am I giving everything I have, Krishna? Please, you look at my wallet. Look, I have nothing. I cannot wake up in the morning, my Lord. Maybe once a week, maybe once a month, I can attend Mangalarti or something like that. Beyond that, please. Now, sometimes the trick of the mind is that if we don't follow 100% all these best practices, that it's not worth doing. Forget it. Just forget the japa. I cannot do Mangalarti, so best not to do it. The mind is going to go berserk. The rest of the day is completely worthless. It's better not even to do japa. Even if I do it, I'll not make any progress. So that is another trick of the mind to insert negativity in our attitude. So best is to recognize that mental trick, because our mind knows that if this devotee succeeds in Krishna consciousness, then all my plans are going to be ruined. My plans of enjoying the material world, my plans of controlling things, because our minds are contaminated. So they come up with very subtle suggestions that if you can't do 100%, don't even do 1%. That's why best is to appeal to the Lord and say, my Lord, please infuse my chanting with the best possible quality. Okay, I don't do it at 4 in the morning, but I do it at 9:30 in the morning, or I do it at 6:30 in the evening. But please, I know it's not the best 100% time, but I'm giving you everything I have. So we have to question ourselves, our motivations, and see if we can bypass these tricks of the mind that somehow encourage us to reduce our quality, encourage us to remain distracted, encourage us to remain in the material world. This is the one gate that will help us escape from the material world. So am I giving 100% that I have? My 100% will not be the same as your 100%. You'll be able to wake up consistently at 3:30 in the morning, take a shower, sit down without any distractions, and chant first-class rounds. For me, I can do that maybe once a week. I can wake up 4:30 sometimes, once a month, and my body hurts so much, and my men, it's just I have health problems, so I can only wake up at 7 o'clock. That's fine. The main thing is, am I giving myself to Krishna completely? And Krishna then compensates for us. I mean, we are all living in Kali Yuga. What can we offer compared to the people who used to live in Kali Yuga? They used to offer so many nice things, so much consciousness. They could meditate for 10,000, 12,000 years. What can we offer? Nothing. Prayan alpayesha sabhya kalavasmin yuge jana manda samanda matayo manda bhagya. We are very unfortunate. Manda bhagya. Our minds are weak. However, at the end of Bhagavatam, what do they say? Kale dosh nidhera achan eko hyasti mahadguna. It is an ocean of faults. It's an ocean of faults in Kali Yuga. One great quality, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Paramrajet, that by chanting of the holy name, we overcome all this negativity of the Kali Yuga. So the chanting process is what's most important. Let us infuse it with all the quality at our disposal, and all the sincerity at our disposal. Sometimes one day may not be the same as the other day. It's okay. We just move on, take the next baby step. As long as we are stepping forward. And sometimes even if you trip and fall, doesn't matter. You get right up and you keep walking. Because success means you stood up one more time than the number of times you fell. You see, success means you stand up one more time more than the number of times you fell. So if I fell 110 times and I stood up 111 times, I'm successful. That's all that matters. We have to keep plodding one lifetime, keep going, keep smiling, and appreciating the Lord. And you appreciate, and you one day appreciating, another hour you're expressing remorse. But because Krishna is absolute, it's no negative, it's all positive. Krishna is the center. I'm just saying some words I put there. I think we should be encouraged, and we should encourage each other, because the world is so full of discouraging elements. We should support each other, encourage each other, and encourage ourselves also.
No questions. I'm surprised. What's happened?
A question from Galaxy Tab A 2016. The hand is raised.
Yeah, the hand has been raised for a long time, but they're not asking. So maybe they raised by mistake or something.
No,
I have a question, which is a physical difficulty while chanting, and that puts me off most of the time. It's like when I am chanting, I start yawning. I'm not sleepy at all, but my cheek and jaw muscles, I'm yawning most of the time. Like 5 times I would chant, and 6th time I would yawn. Again 6 times I would do the Maha Mantra, and 7th time I would yawn. I just don't understand how to fix this up. I'm not sleepy at all, not drowsy at all. I'm alert, but I do not know how to overcome this. And that's precisely what doesn't allow me to. I don't know where am I going wrong and why I'm not being able to do my 16 rounds. And without the beads, if I'm chanting, I'm taking the Lord's name, it is happening, free flowing. But when it comes with the beads, after 5 or 6 Maha Mantras, the yawn comes.
Mhm.
I really want to understand, Prabhuji, if you can please give me some medicine, some, where I can wake up from this slumber of mine. Some shock treatment I need. Please
Very,
help
very
me.
interesting situation. It seems that when you chant without the beads, the yawning doesn't happen. It only happens with the
No.
beads. Huh? That's very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. But so it doesn't seem like a physiological thing. It seems more like a psychological correlation, that when you bring the beads up, then your mind is rebelling or something psychologically, that it's responding and reacting. So I've never heard of this particular situation, but it sounds like not a physical one, not a physiological, but psychological. Maybe Kirtika Mataji, who's the physician or the doctor here, she can give us some suggestions. I have a couple.
I'm not a doctor.
I mean, you have a PhD. You're a PhD in immunology, and you're a teacher in medical school. So.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask, what beads do you have? Do you have Tulsi beads?
Yeah, Tulsi beads. Mansi Ganga Mataji had given me those. Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I used to use the normal. I used to use the normal. So, and my chanting really improved when I used the Tulsi beads. So I'm sure you're using the right beads. But the mind is a monkey, and we must remember that. And you can condition it, that the moment I touch my bead bags, my stomach starts hurting. You can have that effect. The moment I touch my bead bag, I can start vomiting. The mind can do these tricks.
Yeah. You know, my temples, because of the yawn, my temples start aching. And I really don't know. I'm helpless. I really need help how to overcome.
Can you put a piece of avla or a cinnamon or something in your mouth?
Yes,
I know
yes,
you are supposed to keep your mouth clean and everything, but we have to surpass this monkey mind. This is definitely a trick that your mind is
Definitely
playing.
a piece of clove or something might help.
Yeah, clove. Yes, I was thinking. Okay.
So you can try that. There's other things you can try also. There is certain pranayam techniques that help you shake off some mental habits. Pranayam techniques.
Okay.
Just before you start chanting japa, if you can spend say 5 to 10 minutes doing some deep forced breathing, that aligns your mind with the what is called prana. The prana is the flow of life airs within the pranayam lines our mind with the prana, and it helps clarify some of those things. So it may help if you use pranayam technique. If you write down
you mean to say anulom vilom, right? Okay.
Anulom vilom, and in particular in your case, you want to try Kapal Bhati. Kapal Bhati is directly related to this area here. Kapal Bhati is also powerful to detoxifying, and it could shake off the physical, psychological. Give it a shot. You know, you never know. So, you're familiar with this pranayam techniques. There's 7 of them. You can do 3 of them, whichever one works for you.
And your blessings also I need, That is of utmost importance, Prabhuji, because that will open some knot which is holding me back.
Yeah, the source of blessings is definitely there in Eldoret. Mother Mansi Ganga has a big bank of blessings, so we will receive from her and the senior devotees for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just a new guy.
Senior is not by age, okay? And senior is not by number of years. They can see who's senior. That's why she's asking you. Right, Rachna?
No, Mansi Ganga Mataji. You are the senior most. No.
Blessings do flow.
You have been showering your blessings, I know. I'm in this workshop today only because of you, because of your blessings, Mansi. It's only because of you. So.
Yeah, so definitely try that. Hopefully that.
No.
Prabhuji, can I also suggest something?
Sure.
Yes.
Please share your thoughts.
Rachna Mataji, if we go back to Prabhuji's lecture today,
Yeah.
there's a place where he mentioned about gratitude, right?
Yes. Yes.
So when you have this when you're doing chanting your beads and you're yawning, take that point to have a conversation with Krishna. Smile with him. Tell him, my Lord, you're trying to play games where just have a nice friendly conversation with him. And it will take you deeper and deeper. Show some appreciation, talk to him and say, you're the boss. Now what else do you want me to do, you know?
Yeah.
Because maybe when you're chanting with beads, you're putting too much seriousness into something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're thinking a lot more. When you're chanting freely, when you're just singing, it's all flowing like a river, you know? So when you sit down, sometimes maybe you're concentrating too much, you're being serious. And Krishna wants it with love, with smiling. He wants to play games with us. He loves us. We're his children. So anytime something like that happens, just laugh with him. Say, boss, what do you want me to do now? You guide me. I'm at your mercy. I've surrendered. Now it's up to you. And the solution will come, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'll try
Madan,
all of these. Yes. Thank you so much.
I have one more suggestion as well. When
Yes.
these things happen to me, I, like Divesh Prabhuji says, I laugh, but I don't laugh with Krishna. I just say, okay, Maya, I know you are here. You are here trying to separate me from my Krishna, because that's her job. I mean, poor thing, we really demonize Maya, but she's just trying to do her job by making us sincere devotees. So I always tell her, Maya, I know you have arrived, you have come, and you want to interfere me. I recognize you. You help me to take me to God. Make her your friend. So, I mean, we have to use all these techniques. And I'm sure other devotees have other ones. But it's not just you. And thank you for bringing up this question, because we all suffer something or the other. My whole menu for the whole week is set when I'm chanting.
Yeah.
Aaj subah kya banana hai, afternoon kya banana hai, evening kya banana hai. It started with that. Now I've learned that this is just the monkey mind, and I say, okay, we'll do that later. Let's concentrate. Then I'll fall asleep. Then I'll say, okay, thank you, Maya. I've recognized you. Now let's get on with it. So, I mean, yes, we are all suffering. It's not you. We are all in the same boat.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I have one question. You told that chanting with listening. Okay, I get it. When we will chant, we will listen also carefully. But I am asking, I have one doubt. Can we listen some music of Hare Krishna, and chant with that one? Is it okay or not?
Definitely not good to listen to music. If you want to hear something, like I know in our temples we play the Srila Prabhupada Japa tape. So some devotees find that useful. It sets the mood, and we chant in a group so we can hear the devotee Japa also. So that is, some devotees find that very useful. And some devotees find that a distraction also. Main thing is we should be able to hear our chanting clearly. So typically, our own chanting should be coming in our own ears. That is important. So extra music on the side may not be helpful. Definitely not music. I mean, you don't want to play singing, kirtans, you don't want to play lectures, you don't want to hear anything extra, you know. So try not to do that. Now, some people like to create an atmosphere of nature. So they play very soft, like some birds tweeting or ocean waves. Even though in Eldoret you can hear the ocean waves also. Those kind of things, you can do that. Maybe create a sattvic mood environment. Some people find that helpful. But generally, you want to go for the silence. Just silence and hear your own mantra that you're chanting. The better you can chant and hear, the more effect it'll have on our spiritual growth. That's important.
Thank you. Thank you,
Madan Gopal Prabhu.
Yes.
Jayadvait Maharaj doesn't even approve of Srila Prabhupada's japa.
Yeah,
And
I
to
don't
some
like
extent,
that so much.
Yeah, me too, because then you're trying to focus on Srila Prabhupada chanting more than yours. But the point you made about chanting with other devotees is very, very
Yes.
powerful.
Yes.
You know, they keep you up, they keep you alert, and you know, your chanting goes on another level. Yeah,
it's true, because
with
there's
other devotees.
an energy there. It's a collective energy that happens, that buzz. You can feel the vibe. You know, there is a power of association. You know, association can move our hearts also. I mean, one time I was in Mayapur. I went to Mayapur this year for the first time, and I saw some devotees. They're just so absorbed, and you could see the tears coming. Like for 2 hours, constantly, they were just having tears, and they're just so absorbed. I was so shaken when I saw that. Finally, you know, I mean, there's so many devotees who know how to chant over here. Just by being near them, I get inspired by them and their energy. So on. There is a power of association. Association moves our heart, moves our emotions. You know, if you don't believe it, you just go to any Indian wedding. Go to Indian weddings. One time I went to the Indian wedding, and I said, I'm not going to cry for sure. I'm not going to cry. And then when it came time for Vidai, and the girl is going to go to her, wedding is done. Everybody's crying. I was the first one to cry. Ah! Like, it's my own, I don't even know that Mataji was crying. I don't even know her name. But somehow everyone's crying. So the mood is so powerful. I feel like crying that she's going to go now. I don't even know who she is, but, somehow, because that is called a power of association. It moves your heart. So we associate with other people who have very strong, powerful emotions for Krishna. Then that'll touch us even if we don't want it. See, so that's something to go for.
Then Prabhuji, what is the Brahma Muhurta time? What is the time for Brahma Muhurta?
The Brahma Muhurta time varies depending on the time of sunrise, but generally it's a Mangalarti time, like 4:30 in the morning. So 4:30 in the morning to 7:30, those are the best hours for chanting.
Chanting, okay.
There is a question from Kruti. She's raised her hand.
Sure, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kruti.
Okay. I wanted to ask, when I'm chanting, like some things come in my mind, like just thoughts. Then I'm trying to tell myself, okay, Kruti, stop thinking about that. Stop thinking about that. Like, so the whole time, when you're chanting, it comes, then I'm just trying to tell myself, okay, stop thinking about other stuff. So after the end of chanting one round, I'm being like, okay, half the time I'm just telling myself to stop thinking about stuff.
How sweet.
Chanting. So what do I have to do, or what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, that's a very good
So
question.
cute.
And this is a problem. Is this actually a problem more with grown-ups than children? Actually, this problem of the mind. In fact, sometimes I see that some children, they're chanting. I saw some little kids, they're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, and then all of a sudden they stop. And then I chant Hare Krishna, Krishna. And ask me, why did you stop for like 10 seconds? I was thinking something. So, when they're thinking something, they'll stop chanting. Us guys as grown-ups, we are so expert at multitasking. We'll be thinking something and chanting also. That's not a good thing. So generally, we don't want to tell our mind to stop thinking about this. Imagine if I tell you, stop thinking about orange rhinoceros. Now, everybody of you listening are thinking about orange rhinos only. Before this, you probably never heard of orange rhinoceros. But now all of you are thinking about it. So don't say stop thinking about this one, because our mind cannot work in negatives. You don't say stop doing this, don't do that. When a child is walking, we're going for a walk and the child is walking on the road, he's supposed to walk on footpath. I don't tell him stop walking on the road. No, you should give a positive guidance. You should say, walk on the footpath. Don't say stop walking on the road. It's the same thing. But the negative one, mind has hard time thinking because you didn't give a positive footpath. You're just saying you're framing your instruction to the mind in a negative way. Stop doing this one. You're still talking about the road. Forget about the road. You say something positive. Start walking on the footpath. That's a much better way than saying stop walking on the road. Similarly, when your mind is thinking something that we don't, it's a distraction from our chanting. We don't say, stop thinking about the orange rhinoceros. Then you'll think about that more. You should say, start thinking about how Krishna is his holy name. Start thinking about the mercy of the Lord. Start this, start that. So they should have positive options when the mind goes off the track. Okay. And our mind will go off the track all the time. So that is nothing wrong with that. But Every now and then when we're chanting Hare Krishna, we realize the mind has gone off the track. When we realize and you allow it to remain on the track, that's where the offense comes in, you see. So when you realize, oh, it's off the track, and that time you readjust and focusing on the track, then you're still using your full options to remain Krishna conscious. But if you realize you've gone off the track and you still allow it, then we are not giving our full energy to the Lord. So think positively. Think of adding Krishna to your life instead of removing Maya. You see, you add Krishna to your life is much easier than removing Maya, because you cannot remove Maya. Even in the vacuum, Maya is there. That is the point. Think positively. Add, don't subtract, because you cannot subtract from mind. Mind cannot allow any vacuum. So add, don't subtract. I hope that helps, Kruti.
Yes, thank you so much.
Can I
have a question?
Can I add, Madan Gopal
Yes.
Prabhu? Just one. You know, Srila Prabhupada was asked this question by a disciple that, oh Prabhupada, when I sit down to chant, my mind really bothers me so much. Srila Prabhupada said, what has the mind got to do with this chanting? It's only the tongue and the ear.
Yes.
Literally, it's just the tongue and the ear. Mind has nothing to do, of course.
Yes.
Like you said, bring in positivity, so the mind probably will learn how to function.
You know what else Prabhupada said about chanting? And I'll find that prayer. I'm trying to remember the verse. Janma Ishwarya Shuta Shri Bhi Edhamana Madhakuman Naiva Twama Kinchana Kocharam. Now that verse in the purport, Prabhupada gives a very powerful instruction. So Janma Ishwarya, this is the prayer of Queen Kunti. This is the first prayer in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam prayers. And in that one, I'm just going to find the verse if I can find it. And I'll tell you from the purport. It has a very powerful point on how to chant. I have to Google it. But so in that one, Queen Kunti prays that those who are full of having material desires, they cannot approach you. They cannot chant your name feelingly. So 126, verse number 26. Yes, here it is. So those who are too absorbed with getting high opulence, high education, bodily beauty, they cannot approach you with sincere feeling. So listen carefully to this purport. Such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. It is said in the Shastras that by once uttering the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of quantity of sin that he is unable to even commit. Such is the power of uttering the holy name of the Lord. There is not the least exaggeration in this statement. Actually, the Lord's holy name has such a powerful potency. But there is a quality to such utterances also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. So the point Srila Prabhupada is making here, there's a difference in quality. It's not just that, okay, we're both chanting, they're both hearing, but which one is calling out feelingly to Krishna, oh Govinda. That is a point to be taken actually. So unless we engage our feeling in it, we won't get the full benefit. Prabhupada mentions this in the purport. This is how we take it. Certainly, we should not allow the distraction of the mind. When Prabhupada explains that devotee, why bring the mind in this? Just disregard. His point was disregard those distractions. Just focus on the sound. When you focus on the sound, then eventually the distractions, they can dissolve. But also he encourages that we should approach him with feeling. We can only approach him with feeling when we have cultivated that mood during the day. When we read about Krishna, when we think about him, when we discuss about him, when we're serving him in the deity form, when we're doing a devotional service, cleaning or cooking or whatever, when we're cultivating that feeling, then when it comes time to chant Hare Krishna, that feeling will come out. And we can call to him feelingly, because we invested our emotions during the day. Invest emotion in Krishna.
Since there are no one asking a question, my question was on surrender. I know this is a chanting class.
Yeah, but we talked about
I
surrender.
was-
Yeah,
Mm.
but I want to know about surrender. Maybe if we can
Yes,
have another
sure.
class, or shortly, if you can tell us again the 6.
Yeah. So let me go back to the slides, share my slide, and this way, if you see it visually, it can be easier to remember. So
Yeah, by the time I was internalizing it, it went away.
I
So
see. Yeah. The surrender is a pretty important part. So here it is, anukulasya sankalpa. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen here. Share screen. Can you see my screen?
yes,
So it's anukulasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishiti vishvaso goptritve varanam tatha atmanikshep karpanye shadvishya sharanagati. So the 6 aspects of surrender are accepting those things that are favorable to devotional service, accepting them. If Krishna teaches you do this, it'll be very good. You do that, it'll be very good. So you take them. Yes, I will do it. Wake up early. Yes, I will do it. You keep clean. Yes, I will do it. Then rejection of unfavorable things. You give up self-destructive activities. Yes, I will do it. What do you want to give up? Tea, coffee? Yes, I'll do it. It's hard. When I remember when I gave up tea, coffee in 91, I didn't sleep for 2 days because I was so much headache that I was throwing up, vomiting. But I'd made up my mind that from now on, no more intoxicants. So it was very difficult physically. I mean, I actually got sick. It's a withdrawal symptom. But if we make up our mind to reject unfavorable things, then Krishna sees our effort. So reject anything unfavorable. Association of bad people, give that up. That means, opening our mind to them, or associating with bad vibrations, negative vibration, material vibration. What does vibration mean? Things like what we watch on TV, what we read about, what kind of movies we watch, all those things, they have vibrations and they have an effect. So we reject anything unfavorable that will contaminate our consciousness and convince. There are many things in the world, they keep convincing us that this is everything, there is no spiritual world. So we reject all those things. Then we cultivate the conviction that Krishna is the one protecting me, right? Rakshishyati iti, he will protect. Raksha means protection, and to have strong trust. Vishwas means trust. Rakshishyati iti vishvaso, I trust Krishna, he'll protect me. What does protect mean? It doesn't mean that he'll protect me from death necessarily. Sometimes that happens also, because we all have to die anyway. If I'm meant to die tomorrow, I'll die tomorrow. If I'm meant to die at the age of 110, that's when I will die. But death is for sure. So what is this protection that he's giving? He's protecting our investment in Krishna consciousness. He's protecting our devotional path. He will always give us the freedom to move away from him, but he'll protect the path as much as we allow him to. He's the one who's protecting us in every way, actually. He gives us reminders. Those are his protections. Then Goptritve Varanam Tatha. This is that whatever I'm getting is actually Krishna's mercy. Understanding that. I think that because I'm working hard and I'm making a lot of money or something like that, that's because of my hard work, I'm feeding myself and my family. No, it is Krishna who's feeding them. I should not convince myself that if I'm not there, who will feed my family? No. All this time I have not been feeding them. Krishna has been. He takes care of them. He takes care of me. Accepting he's the he's a taking care. Okay. Then acceptance. Okay, so we saw that, and full surrender. That I'm Atma Nikshepa Karpanye. So my Lord, I am yours. You are my boss. You're my owner. I'm your property. That mood is there. That's an aspect of surrender. And the last one is this Karpanya. Karpanya means this humility. We don't become brash or proud. When we prevent pride from entering our heart and contaminating, always remain humble with Krishna, humble with Krishna's devotees, humble with other people also, accepting humility. Then these 6 items will constitute for surrender. So that is the definition of surrender. Anyway, there's a lot more to be said on this. There's a 6-part lecture series I have on this surrender, which goes on for 6 hours. So, but this is just in a nutshell.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any more?
Any more questions?
We should have one class on surrender.
We need 6 classes on surrender because it's 6.
Haribol, yes. Kruti, you have a question? Kruti, your hand is raised, or is it from the previous one?
She might have raised it from the previous one. I didn't lower it.
We are not asking Madan Gopal Prabhu whether he's okay.
He has a question. Kruti has a question, please. Yes, Kruti, continue. Kruti, continue.
I think she says she doesn't have a
Yeah.
question. She doesn't have a question. She just
Oh, you don't have a question. Okay.
No, she has. She said that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
She
you.
has.
Yes, please.
Bol?
I wanted to ask when in the mandir when Mataji was teaching us how to chant, she said something about the first 8 beats, and I'm sorry I don't remember it.
Madan Gopal.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead. What is about the first 8 beats?
No, you explain. You know that. Come on. It's your stage. You know it's your stage. I'm amazed she remembers about the first 8 beats. You know what it is. Explain, Madan Gopal, with your language.
I really don't. Something for me to
Why do we tie a thingy after the 8 beats? The
I
string.
always wondered why that is.
Madan Gopal, stop pretending. I'll slap you in front of everyone on the on the screen.
I am 100% telling you, Mataji, I have no idea. I thought it's just a decoration.
Come on.
Seriously, I'm not kidding you. Please tell us. I have to look it up on Google otherwise, and I pretend I know it.
No, come on, Madan Gopal, just answer her query. You're getting late, not us.
I seriously don't know. I'm looking it up.
Come on. Just stop pretending. I know you're Govinda's brother, but don't be too much of his brother.
No, I wouldn't lie about this thing.
Anyway, this is the Krishna bead. This one.
Well, the first one is the Krishna bead.
And you start from the first bead, not the Krishna bead.
Right. But what is the significance of the first 8?
The 8 gopis.
I thought the 108 are the 108 gopis.
Yes. So out of that, from what I've heard and I've learned, that 108 gopis, we are following Lord Chaitanya's Gopi Bhatu Pada Kamalo Dasa Dasanudas. So that's the chanting, and like Lord Chaitanya, we're crying out to be engaged in Krishna's service. So I was told that's why we tie that string after the 8, that those are the principal gopis, you know, who are directly serving. So this is the mood of service.
So the first
is the
or the principal
yes,
we have on the altar.
Principal gopis, yes.
So like in the Mayapur deities, there are 4 on this side, 4 on this side. So that is what I mean. I've never gone to Mayapur, but I've seen pictures. So that is what I say, that I'm touching their feet, all the 8 ones.
No, I've never read this in any of Prabhupada's books or anything, but I'm sure I must have missed
I've heard. I mean, that's what I'm saying, read or heard, but I've heard this. And strange how Kruti remembers. Most people don't even remember.
No, we all remember. We all remember, Mataji. We all, in fact, in
some beads, it has the thread, you know. It has the thread, 8 beads, and most beads don't. I don't have on this one, but occasionally I've seen the 8 beads. So, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
In my mala, the 8th bead is also a little bit, it has some cracks and things. So when it comes to the 8th bead, I know this is the 8th gopi. So, and then the 9th bead is nice and smooth. But the 8th bead is, so I think in all Tulsi malas, I think the 8th bead is a little bit distorted.
Yeah. Yes, it is flat on one side. Very right. I just observed it. Yes.
Yeah, mine has a crack on both the sides.
Mm.
So I know that it is now the
Tulsi.
So do we have to do anything for the first 8?
No.
No?
No, you don't. You don't have to
Okay.
do anything. You just have to remember we have to follow in the footsteps of gopis by never forgetting Krishna and always remembering Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah, the gopis have a very important place in our philosophy. You know? In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabodhanand Saraswati has summarized our whole Krishna conscious philosophy in one verse. He wrote in Chaitanya Mat Manjusa, it's a book called, and you might have heard this verse. It says, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kajidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradara Napara. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mat, his opinion. This is whole Krishna conscious philosophy in one verse. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. The worshipable one is who? Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya, who is the son of the king of Vraja, the son of Nanda Maharaj. That Krishna we worship. And his dham is Tad Dhama Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadhu. And the way to worship him is in the footsteps of Vrajavadhu. Vrajavadhu means the gopis. Right? Then he says, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. And what is the philosophy that supports this worship? That is Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the Amala Praman, the spotless Praman, the spotless source of truth. Right? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. Yeah, and then Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matam Idam Tatradana Napara. And this is the opinion of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So yes, the gopis are very important, and they're important because we follow in their footsteps of spontaneous, pure devotional service to the Lord, selfless devotional service. Then their devotional service is even more selfless than the queens of Dwarka.
Dwarika.
Yeah. All right.
Is Ravi still with us?
Looks
Ravi?
like it.
Is he?
Yes.
Ravi, how
Ravi
come you're
Nathan.
not firing questions, Ravi? By the way, Ravi is from Nairobi, a very successful businessman, but very addicted to the chanting like Mansi Ganga. Ravi, come on. How come you're so quiet today?
Is he living in Nairobi right now?
Yes. He's in Nairobi. He's there, or is it the waffle like me doesn't know how to get in? But he did come with a question. I think earlier on he did ask a question.
He asked a question earlier.
I
I'll
thought he would be.
Oh, he was.
Yes,
Haribol.
Hare Krishna. So
Yeah.
I've been with ISKCON since 1998. I'm not initiated, and I'm still struggling with chanting. And Prabhuji explained why, because of unattentive and can we say non-committal chanting, whatever it is. So just recently in the last 3 months since COVID came, I think I've improved my chanting.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing. So maybe COVID should not go away. I don't know.
It's an opportunity, actually. I mean, I've seen it's an opportunity because we're getting time that we didn't have before, and we are forced to stay in the house instead of wasting our time going outside, wasting our energy going outside here and there. And we realize that we don't have to do it to constantly go outside, you know.
So anyway, in this lifetime, I'm going to struggle with chanting. In my next lifetime, I will take Diksha.
So
Oh, Ravi.
If you have made up your
Haribol.
mind this
No.
lifetime, then it
let-
will happen.
okay. So let me
Don't make up a mind like that.
There's a
Okay,
famous
let,
saying. There's a famous saying. If you think you can, or if you think you cannot, you are right. If you think you can do it,
So,
you're right. If you think you cannot do it, you're also right, because your thought process is where you end up being. So if you continue telling yourself, in this lifetime I will not make it, this lifetime, instead of that, we can say, no, in spite of my difficulties, the holy name process is so powerful, I will make sure this lifetime I go back to God. That's what Prabhupada wanted us to say to ourselves. He told us, no. This lifetime I want you all to go back to God. This Japa Reform notebook written by my Guru Maharaj, Satsvarup Das Goswami Maharaj. It was written in 1984. It's a very good book to have.
so Japa,
I found it very useful.
Yeah.
Matsiganga, do you have that in your gift shop?
no, I don't have it.
No, I'll tell you where you can find it for free. That book is available for free, and all my Guru Maharaj books are available for free. He has written 200 books. If you go to sdglegacy.com, I can just put it over here. You just look for
I'll write it down.
yeah, SDG Legacy, because Satsvarup Das Goswami Legacy, and all the books are available for free download, completely legal. It's his own website.
SDG Legacy. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look it up, you can look it up right now. SDG Legacy, you'll see all the books are there. This book is also should be there. He's written 2 books on Japa.
Yeah.
Japa. For the Nectar of the Holy Name, and this Nectar, this Japa Reform Notebook. And also he's written a lot
Can
of...
you tell the names of the books, please?
Yeah.
Names again?
Yeah, the 2 books are, the first one is Japa Reform Notebook. Okay, I'll put it in the chat over here. Okay, Japa Reform Notebook, Notebook. And the other one is called Begging for the Nectar of the Holy Name.
Yeah.
And you can find them on www.sdglegacy.com. Okay. So all the books are available. He has also many other books, like one is called Obstacles in the Path of Devotional Service. I find it very powerful. And we go through this another.
But also there's this book on reading reform. That also is very helpful.
So,
Reading
Reform is a very powerful book.
I've read these books.
Yeah.
Yes.
I found a lot of inspiration.
Very powerful.
He even gave a lecture on our Zoom channel a couple of weeks ago. He doesn't come out very often. He's very senior. He's 80 plus, 80 something years old, and he has some health issues, but he still writes. Even today he's writing every day. So anyway, I think you'll find these books very useful. There's another one by Sachinandan Swami called The Living Name.
Yeah.
Living Name by Sachinandan Swami. And another one by Sachinandan Swami is, I have it over here somewhere. Anyway, I have to see what it's called, but that is the one that has all these 4 gates. That's where I got all this material from about the 4 gates by Sachinandan Swami. So if you look up Sachinandan Swami books on Google, you'll find them. But yeah, Nam Rahasya is the one. That is the one that has these 4 gates and this whole, it's a very tiny, small book only. It has all this content. So his retreat, I told you, right, in 2008, I went to a retreat that was conducted by him. And he used this book as a textbook of that one. So Nam Rahasya. But there are many books. Depends on if you like to read books or not. Not everybody, I've discovered not everybody likes to read books. I used to think everybody must love books. If I like to read, everybody must. But I realize that's not the case, Like I was telling, someone was talking about a movie, that Harry Potter movie, the second one. It was so good. It was so good. And then someone else was saying, yeah, but the book was so much better. And the first guy tells them, yeah, but you know what I like about the movie? What do you like? No reading. Not everybody likes to read, you know. I don't have to read. I just watch the movie. So that's why sometimes these lectures are more useful, or a retreat is more useful. Not everybody wants to read a book. And even if you read the book, it's like hard to implement. It's hard to understand how to actually do it, you know. So it's good to have a discussion. It's good to have some slideshow, talk about it, do some practical, you know, trials. It's much better. Sawa.
So, why don't you say, I think, what's his name? Panchatattva Priya is there. I saw him briefly from HKTC library. Check on him. Is he there? I don't know, he's come as Hare Krishna or HKTC.
HKTC,
He's there.
Check.
He's there.
Panchatattva Priya, are you there?
Yes, he's there.
Yeah,
He's
he's
muted.
Panchatattva Priya. Ask a question. Yeah, just look, he's seated all by himself. Haribol, you don't want to ask. The first question he asked me when I gave a class was on chanting. Now you have the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mataji. No question. Very nice presentation by Prabhu.
Wow, thank you for being there. Are you all by yourself? The rest have gone to sleep or watching football.
No, I have introduction.
Oh, Vishwa, sorry, Vishwa. You're there too, right?
Yes, he's there too. Vishwadas.
This is
By the way,
Nairobi.
Eldoret and see, that's their library, the HKT. Oh,
Very
Haribol.
nice. Very nice. Yeah, I want to come and visit there sometime. You know, I was supposed to come this year, but because this year I cannot come. I was going to come this July. I had my everything booked and everything.
We had Madhav last year.
We have a direct flight to Eldoret as well, Prabhuji.
Is it direct
so
from here?
you can skip Nairobi and come directly to Eldoret.
Oh, yeah. Govinda would love you for it.
Yeah, at least my son came to see you last year, huh? Madhav and my wife,
Yeah.
Ganga. Yeah.
He did kirtan at the HKTC twice, I think, yeah? Panchatattva and Vishwa.
Yeah, it's twice. Twice.
Prabhuji's name
And
is
then
Madhav.
Madhav.
And then Madhav gave us the class.
That's my favorite name, Madhav.
Madhav, huh? Yeah. We like it so much.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very sweet name.
Yeah. He's going to start college this year now, my son.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is he going to be reading?
Medicine.
Oh, very good.
He's taking.
That's good. Excellent.
Yeah, I was going to say your line.
Same line as yours. Yeah. He came to Nairobi. He was doing volunteering at MP Shah Hospital, you know, to learn about some medical practices in Kenya and things like that. You know?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Let's see.
We pray that he succeeds in his endeavor.
Thank you so much. We could use all the blessings we can get. You know how difficult life is to go to medical.
I tell you, yes. I have two daughters in that same line, so we know. I know we are giving him blessings for a successful mission
both
accomplished.
They're practicing medicine now? Your daughters?
Yes, so one of them is a mental health specialist, a pharmacist, and one of them is training to be an eye surgeon.
Oh,
so
ophthalmology.
Ophthalmology.
Wow.
Both of them are in London. So
yeah, ophthalmology is a good field. I mean, yeah.
It is. She's really enjoying it. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. All the blessings to them. You know,
Thank you so much.
All the prayers and blessings to all the devotees of HKTC. You know, HKTC is something very dear to me. Ever since Govinda explained to me what he does over there, and he showed me so many videos and pictures, I was so inspired that HKTC is the standard the rest of the world should follow. Honestly, I'm not kidding you, because when we explained about HKTC to all the different temples in America, when Govinda Prabhu came here and we went to Florida and we talked, people were so impressed by the standards that we have in HKTC and what is being taught over there, and how the different devotees are developing in their Krishna consciousness, young college students, you know, very smart, intelligent kids taking up this highest process. It's very, very satisfying to the heart to hear this success, you know. So this is one of the things I want to see when I come to Kenya. I want to see how HKTC runs, I want to see how the Eldoret center is doing. I've never been to Eldoret in my life, and check out Mombasa, Kisumu, see what else is going on in preaching activities, and see what we can. Hopefully, I'll get some chance to do some service there in preaching field or whatever. So let's see. These are our wishes. The Lord, if He can facilitate, that'll be nice.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. It will happen. It will happen, definitely.
Drink the Kenya water again.
Yes, yeah. Once you are there, you get so addicted, you can't leave it, or you have to come back to it.
Yeah. You can take the Kenyan out of Kenya, but you can't take Kenya out of the Kenyan.
That's true. Well, it's where the mankind started. So, origins of mankind is in the Rift Valley.
At least origin of me. Origin of me for sure. At least this body of mine.
Yeah.
And Madan Gopal Prabhu, this Panchatattva Priya,
yes,
he is the pillar in the sense, so dedicated and so, I don't know, not enough words, but he's very shy and a very backbencher.
Madan, please stop that, Madan. Please spare that for another day, Madan.
Are you bullying me into it? No, even Vishwa, but Gary is quite a pillar, And his first question.
Who's holding this up in Govinda Prabhu's absence,
Yeah. And his first question when I gave the first class was on chanting, and I said, hey, this boy is special. And he's proved it. He's there for almost 5 years now, Gary. Panchatattva?
Yes,
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So, it's higher. Now I think we should let everyone, especially Madan Gopal, let off. We could, like Kitika said, we can carry on for the next few hours. But yesterday also I was talking loud. The Pujari said I could hear you. So for me, I can't be soft. But thanks a lot, Madan Gopal, seriously.
Thank you. I'm glad you can get something out of this. I will put this on YouTube and I'll share the link with everyone. This way you can always refer back to it.
Thank you.
Please, Prabhu, share the presentation.
How will you put the link on YouTube? Because even I want to learn that.
Yeah, you have to create your own account. Maybe you should create Eldoret Hare Krishna group or something account on YouTube. You create it from Google or something like that. Just create a new account and it's very easy to upload these files.
Okay. All right.
It's a 2-click process. It's not a problem. Anyway, you can see my other lectures and I've also given that.
Yeah, I have subscribed.
Oh, you subscribed to my channel, right? Yeah.
So then everything you do, I get. So it's an automatic process.
Okay, you can share that to the other devotees also. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hari Bol. God bless you. God bless you.